Okay, let's. Do you guys notice something? Right here, perfect. Okay. So this is a pianist. I believe he also teaches, who is demonstrating. These are from the list exercises, and the title of the video is "Liszt thought every finger should be equal." Now, the implication there, of course, is finger independence, and that's what these exercises are sort of, that's the way that they're taught. But he's actually doing something that I don't even think he realizes he's doing them. I've seen this time and time again where someone is doing these kinds of exercises, so holding all the fingers down and just playing, isolating one finger like that, and they talk about how it's going to strengthen the finger and finger independence and all this kind of stuff. And we'll keep watching, and I'll have you guys really look for this. If you notice that every single finger that he's playing, he's not just using his finger. So see here how just the finger moves, my arm does not move. Just the finger, just the finger. So like when I'm doing my fifth finger here, I guess I can do it on the keyboard, my arm is not moving at all, but he's not doing that. You can see it perfectly right here. As he does this, you can see here that his arm is literally rotating. I recently had a comment on a video where someone referred to, well, they made a comment and they used the term micro rotations. And basically that idea that rotation is just kind of everywhere when we play. This is a perfect example of that. They're very small. Most people wouldn't notice or think about it. All they would see is the finger moving. But without that, without any amount of rotation, first of all, I feel like my arm is really stiff, okay, which obviously is going to be a problem. But without any amount of rotation, I very quickly feel like my fourth finger is fighting me to keep down. I feel like I'm getting some fatigue in my arm, etc. Now, if I don't hold my arm stiffly like that, and I let it move, there's rotation there. You can see the same thing when he's playing his thumb, because he's doing right hand fifth finger and left hand thumb. I'll do it with my right hand though, so you can see he's just rotating. He's literally rotating like this. One thing that requires is that we don't grip these other fingers too much. However, again, if you don't understand this, which I would be willing to bet all the money I've ever seen that this person does not understand this, because if they did, I don't think that they would be putting these exercises forward in the way that they are. And I've seen this with many other teachers. They talk about finger independence and all this kind of stuff, and then they do this, and they're literally, rotating the arm, in maybe even more than a micro rotation. It's actually quite large, and they don't talk about it. They don't mention it. And this is a perfect example of what I talk about, how people don't really understand what they're doing. And I see this a lot where people basically, they say like, well, this person says, would disagree with you. They say actually this, like for instance, the whole arm weight versus finger technique or finger strength sort of thing. This person is a fan of finger strength, finger dexterity, finger independence, and the exercises that go along with it. And yet you can clearly see from their playing that they're actually using rotation. They're not actually just using finger motion, they're using arm motion with it. And the weight of the arm can't be separated from the motion of the arm. So in a way, they're actually using arm weight. Now, I would say that everyone who plays really well uses arm weight. And that's why they play really well, because when you try to generate force at the fingertip with those small muscles, the ensuing result is that you get sympathetic movements in the other fingers, where the fingers, they want to move with you, or you get an enslaving effect in the hand. If I push with my second finger right here, I'm pushing down, all of this is really stiff, okay? In the same way that I can't really effectively generate force just here without stabilizing joints and having other muscles come in and help, etc. Now let's keep watching and see if you guys can notice more. Okay, so as he's doing this, you can really see it in the fifth finger. Okay, now changing the rhythm. Do you guys see that? There's so much rotation. I might even say it's not even really a micro rotation. It's actually quite a large rotation. Now you can also see it when he's using other fingers. Now, I talked about the fifth finger, and the thumb having those rotations, right? Whatever it is. Well, what about the middle fingers? You see this? You see this where it's almost like a roll forwards? And that ensures that the fourth finger doesn't have to generate force just with its own sort of muscles in that sense, but actually I'm rolling forwards and even just a little bit. Now it doesn't feel particularly good in my fourth finger, and again, these exercises don't really prepare us for playing actual music, but that's what he's doing. Same thing with a third finger. Again, if I hold my arm really still, that third finger is really strong, and so I can do it, and I'm not feeling really any fatigue or stiffness in that sense. But what you'll notice is that when he's doing that, he's actually rolling like this. So because of that movement, that means that things aren't completely stiff and tense, so there's some movement in there so that the joints are not frozen, which is good. But he's actually, again, using the arm is coming behind the finger. The arm is coming behind the finger and sort of rolling into that note so that, you know, you're getting the sound. Sounds like finger independence, but in reality, it's codependence. The arm is working with the finger. So this is a perfect example of what I've said in many videos at different points, is that this idea that we need to develop finger independence, it's completely false. This person, great pianist, great teacher, and I mean no disrespect. I'm not trying to call them out specifically. That's why I'm not saying who this pianist is, but they, I don't believe, understand this at all, you know, and most people don't. They really don't. But it's so clear. You can see it in this video, and that's what I wanted to point out to you guys. This is incredibly important to understand. We talked about list exercises in a video recently where I said, you know, if you do them with good form, that's what he's doing here, you could do them, you know, and you won't get injured. And this is a perfect example of that. So if you're interested in having me react or review to another video, you can put a comment down below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.